Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I forget what I was going to show you. I have a few things that I do want to share. If you would like to learn how to work energy, how to tap into your greatest potential, please go check out the workshops and events that I have available, k33academy.com/store, and you'll be able to see that there. Hold on real quick. Okay. So, I'm just a busy bee, aren't I? I'm just a busy effing bee. Oh my gosh, today is freaking crazy. Tomorrow I'm going to be going live to do a fire ceremony. Is the 444 It's a 444 portal fire ceremony. If you'd like to join me for that, go check it out. emmyevolving.com/shop/444FC. All right, let's get started. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is working up the courage to manifest dreams. So there's dream manifestation that's going to be taking place. Dream manifestation. Hold on. Okay, I just want to put that in the comments so that you guys can go ahead and get your expedites if you like. Let me shuffle some cards and get started. All right. Working up the courage to manifest dreams. So there's stuff going on. There's some hesitation. There is some, I don't know, desire to have changes that are necessary. You know what? Okay, I feel like I'm cheating because of the fact that I'm seeing how these cards are situated. And okay, now I went ahead and I made a mess, and I just rotate everything. Whatever rotates, whatever doesn't. Card just fell into my lap. So let's go ahead. Another card. Ooh, something's being initiated. Okay, so let's go ahead. Right, good. There. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. You guys. Too much pre-workout. Okay. For real, let me calm down. Let me just relax my brain just a second. Oh, you know what I just realized? Clifford, if you are watching, what's up? What's up, Clifford? I was talking to Anyaya, and she's the little birdie that told me that sometimes you watch. Hi. Can't wait to actually make your acquaintance. Eventually, I will work through my social anxiety. Thank God for Anyaya. Thank God for her. Not even joking. But anyways, hi, Clifford. Okay. So working through the courage, right? Oh, you know what? Let me do that to this too. Let me just there. Let me calm down. What is going on with me? For real? Too much pre-workout. For real. Girl, get a hold of yourself. Okay. All right. And then final deck that I'm going to shuffle, and then we can actually get started. Ooh, oh my God, you guys. Okay, do you want to see like a progress pic? Do you want to see that? Or, I mean, I went ahead because I didn't want to work out, and then I started to chafe at the gym. I went ahead and took a progress pick. And, you know, it kind of just is what it is. It is what it is. You guys really want to see it? It's kind of embarrassing, actually. Now that you think about it, it's kind of embarrassing. But, you know, I'm all about that. Okay, so August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Oh my God, it's been 8 months. I feel like I haven't progressed enough. So 8 months. 8 months, I've been very nonchalantly working on my physical health. And let me go ahead and share it because now I feel like it's not enough. Now I feel like it's not enough. When I thought it was just 6 months, I was like, girl, you're doing good. Now that it's been 8 months, I feel like it's not enough. There go my insecurities. You're gonna work through it, girl. You got to work through it. You got to. You have no choice. Work through it. Work through it. Okay. Work through it. Ooh, I feel so much anxiety. Girl, you feel anxiety regardless. All right. We're working through it. We are working through it. Right? All right. So here goes. Woo. Woo. Girl, be proud of your accomplishments in 8 months. All right, here goes. Ta-da! Oh, I don't feel like it's enough. Now that I've said 8 months, it feels like it's not enough. Okay, it's gonna be fine. Look at my thighs, yo. Oh my God, girl. That looked like a whole drumstick. Turkey leg. Ooh. Turkey leg. I got a turkey leg. No more chicken legs. It's a turkey leg. That can feed like half a village. I'm just saying. That could feed half a village. I feel like it's not enough. Girl, don't you start crying. Don't you start crying just because you attach the number 8 to that. All right, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. I'm a little disappointed. A lottle disappointed. That's like an ostrich leg. I promise you it's nowhere near as long as an ostrich leg. I promise you. It's nowhere near as long as an ostrich leg. But I could definitely deadlift and leg press. How much does an ostrich weigh? Let's see. 140 to 320 pounds. That's nothing. That's nothing. I could deadlift and leg press a fat ostrich. A fatty. I could do it. I could hip thrust. How tall are ostrich? Okay. Oh, 9 feet. So we would have to fold it up. It's a little too long for my little self. We would have to fold it up, but I could definitely hip thrust that. I could. I could do about 6 sets of 15 hip thrusting that fatty. Anyways, 8 months, girl. That's what happens. That's what happens when you only go 3 days a week. You can go 6 days, twice a day, and you'd have the progress that you want. You'd also die. You would also die. I just gotta, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's progress. That's it. That's all we needed was progress. What's the difference between 8 months and 6 months? For real. Why were you feeling it when you thought it was only 6 months? Why are you like this? They say their kick can kill ya. I can squish a watermelon with my inner thighs and make it burst. No joke. I can. I can squish that hard. You know, I can squish that hard. So, initiation, something's being initiated. I don't know what it is, but it's something that's going to force you to work up the courage to do what you need to do. And what is it that you need to do? Have you allowed yourself to begin? She shoals. Says no more censorship. Don't let them censor us into oblivion. Well, welcome to my crew, Charlene and Ty, where censorship and shadow ban is the norm. It's I don't know who it is that emails me every day. All right. So something's being initiated. Let me just refocus my squirrel aspirate. Okay. We're getting the squirrel off of the wheel. We're going to give it some sedation and have it taken out. Something's being initiated, and you have to set your intentions as to what you are allowing to initiate. You have to step into the role of the co-creator. You have to step into the role of like this powerful feminine energy. What is a feminine energy? It's a creative energy. It's a shadow realm type energy. Shadow is not intrinsically bad. It's one of the most sacred spaces on earth. What do I mean? Well, where were you formed? In the shadow of your mother's womb. That's one of the most sacred spaces. It's a sacred space. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, it's the space where God came into flesh. Every single time something is created, it has to first pass through that shadow space. Now, however you guys want to look at it, that's how you're going to look at it. It's up to you. I'm not going to try and convince you to share the same beliefs as me. But my beliefs are based on very, very extensive observation of thousands of clients at this point over the course of how many years. There's been thousands of clients who, time and time again, they must first pass through the valley of shadows before they can come out the other side reborn. Right? So there are secrets that are going to be spilling out. I don't know what these secrets are, but they're going to be spilling out. And I tell you, the more afraid you are of what people will find out about you, the worse it's going to be. That's the more people are going to want to try and find whatever this dirt is, right? Skeletons in the closet, dirty laundry, however you want to look at it. The more you are fearful of what people will find out about you, the worse it will be. Now, you can simply approach this period with the courage to be like, listen, no one's lived a perfect life. I've maybe made some poor decisions. I'm working through that stage, that phase of poor decision making, and it is what it is. The person who decided to participate or do embarrassing things once upon a time, that's not who I am anymore. And because I went through that and made that poor decision once upon a time, I've learned from it and I'm not going to repeat that poor decision. And then just own it, own it, own it. That's the only way to do it. Because if not, then it gets weaponized and used against you. It gets used against you. There's literally nothing that someone can pull me aside privately and be like, Emmy, if you don't give me $5 million, I'm going to let people know you did this, this, and this. I'd be like, you want me to bring you live on my channel so my people can hear it? Because I mean, unless people know me and the gravity of my work, is like, it's nonsensical for you to announce that. I'll bring you live with me on my channels across all my social media platforms so you can let my people know, because they know I'm not a perfect person. I don't present myself to be. I've literally, like, I'm not tripping, boo. I'm not tripping. I could be on screen with you. I could take my camera down. What you want, how you want to do it. I'm saying, it's your shame, that shame that you feel, that guilt that you feel, that very distorted perception, very unfair, unrealistic perception of what you should be doing based on what other people want you to do and expect you to do. That's the thing that's messing you up. That is a thing that is messing you up tremendously. And if you can correct your perception of yourself, I mean, you know, you can get a lot of things done. You can work past so much of that unnecessary fear. You can move past so much of that. And I think that's kind of what you're needing to do at this point. Move past so much of it, right? So, responsibility, it's your responsibility to decide how this period is going to go, working up the courage to manifest dreams. What are you trying to manifest? Is this a dream come true, or is this a negative dream, which then in turn makes it a nightmare? What is the difference between a dream and a nightmare? The way it makes you feel. The way it makes you feel. Years ago, this was back in like 97. Mhm. It was in 1997. Um, I was having these set of dreams that were super scary. It lasted for 3 weeks, 3 dreams. Each dream lasted 1 week, and I was so afraid of these dreams that I ended up inappropriately and irresponsibly using caffeine pills to stay awake. It was that scary. It was that scary. And it ties into why I have this tattooed on me. um, the dreams turned out to be precognitive dreams, precognitive hits, meaning I was seeing future events without knowing that I was seeing future events. And so it was scary. I saw 9/11. I saw the war in the Middle East. And then I saw the times that we are living through right now, and how the event of 9/11 was the precursor. It was the indication that all of these things would come to pass and we would reach the place we are right now, you know? Um, so Yeah, I was really, really scared because in I think it was the first dream. Um, I was told that I'd be able to see clearly organic portals and who houses demonic entities, which I can see that. And I would be able to see the true face behind the flesh. I would be able to see the true face. And that was super scary for me, like super scary. Every time I would fall asleep, I would wake up shaking, like I had zero muscular control. It was so scary for me. Now I have a dream about something demonic. I'm like, I'm gonna F you up. What are you doing in my dream? I will F you up. Bring your whole crew. I will F up your whole crew. What's that? You want some of this? I serve it up hot. I serve it up frozen. How you want it? Bed of lettuce? I serve it up on a bed of lettuce. You want it on the porch under an umbrella? I'll serve it up there. You want it in the kitchen? I don't give an F. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to scare me either. I'm going to traumatize you, as a matter of fact. You better get out my dream, demon. um, for quite a few years now, demons don't enter my dreams. They're like, she's too much. She's too aggressive. She has no chill. I don't. I have no chill. I'm either joking around or hyper intense. And really, it's contingent on what you inspire me to allow out of me. So, whatever it is you choose, and most of us don't even realize we are passively choosing the ways in which we are going to experience any given circumstance, event, whatever it is. The way you choose to perceive it is what's going to determine how you will experience it: positive, negative, or neutral. Positive, negative, or neutral. What will you choose? When you enter into a space of neutral, you then liberate yourself to tap into the courage that would have been used up trying to simply survive the fear. When you tap into a space of neutral, that courage can be used for forward movement rather than to flounder. It's like if you get dropped off in the ocean and you can swim. Michael says, "Oh, you mean like when someone tosses you into the pool? Hey, 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 ain't nobody talking to you. Ain't nobody talking to you right now, Michaela." So if you toss me into the pool more than 4.5 feet deep, um, it gets a little bit spicy. I might freak out. I might not. I do know how to swim, but it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. So sometimes what ends up happening is if you pick me up and toss me into the pool, um, I will either go into fight or flight, meaning either I will be like, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to die in the water. or, or I'm going to allow myself to sink low enough that I can kick off the floor, pop back up, and start doggy paddling to the wall. At which point, whoever tossed me in that water better start running and hide all the sharps because we now have a problem. And people might be like, but did you die? No, but you might. You guys hear that horn? I'm just saying, don't do that. You can toss me in the 4 foot. I won't even trip. You toss me in 6 feet, mofo. That's like several feet beyond me. I might legit die. Michael says, oh, stop. We'd never let you die. He says you'd survive a lot of inconveniences. That's merely an inconvenience. That's lovely. That's lovely. Impaired cognitive function will absolutely negatively, adversely affect the mission objective, Michaela. Just don't let people be tossing me into water. It's simple. It's simple. So there is some type of emotional mental winter that's going on, like a refusal to come out of your tower. There is a refusal to allow yourself. It's almost like this visual of a river or a lake frozen over, more like a large river, frozen over except for the center part, right? And whatever this is, you have to understand the thickness of what you're skating upon. When you begin to be given the signs that fracturing is occurring, you need to get out of that space. It seems as though we're not paying attention to the signs that soul is giving us, that winter is ending, this cold space that you keep yourself in because you can't quite manage to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. Um, you need to love yourself. As you begin the process of learning how to love yourself, the ice, it's thawing. You're about to be submerged in that river. And what do they do when they baptize you? They submerge you in the river, in the water. So, what needs to happen? You need to prepare for your baptism through the flames, fire, passion. You're about to be baptized by fire. You know what that means? It's going to be intense. It's going to burn away all the impurities, all of these things, concepts like mental, emotional limitations, societal limitations, social limitations, all of that, right? It's about to be burned away. And your excuses as to why you're not succeeding, why you're not progressing, it's about to be gone. It's about to be gone. You're about to be pushed forward into a space of accomplishment, a space of accolades. Ooh, what are you going to accomplish? I want to know. This is beautiful. It's scary at first. No one ever asked the phoenix if she was afraid to burn. All they ever did was witness her rise out of the flames. Wow. Wow. That right there. People don't understand the gravity of the process you go through to be made worthy of the purpose that you were created to fulfill. They don't understand. And maybe you are part of that group that doesn't understand the gravity of the process you are being invited to enter into. This is your initiation. You are being initiated into the next part of your life, into an elevated type of existence. And I don't mean elevated as though you are above others. I mean elevated in that your purpose is a very high calling. And soul is collecting on that promise that you made to fulfill all the promises that you promised before you were born. This right here. Fire is made of plasma, the same stuff in your blood. Makes sense that should a rebirth occur, that it would be blood to fire, plasma on plasma. The etheric blood that runs through your veins is hydroplasma, it's liquid light. Fire is light. Light because of what is used up. It is an alchemical change. Anything run through the flames alchemically changes. It never can go back to what it was before the fire blessed it. It's a lot. Tomorrow is a 444 portal. It is the 444 portal. You know what that means? 44 is a number of self. It's a number of equals. It's a number that shows you your community is waiting for you to step up into your purpose, whatever that might be. 4 is the number of self. This is about you coming home to yourself, you coming home to your purpose, you coming home and stepping up on the stage so your community can see you, can witness you in the process of fulfilling whatever your purpose is. You know what I love the most about our community? That we all carry so much tremendous potentiality, and that we are all, of course, to varying degrees of intensity and positioning, we are all on the same journey of retrieving the parts of us that will help us to be what we were designed to be. A light in the dark. And what if that's all you came into this life to do? Y'all, I don't like when people just keep messaging me. Hold up. You're getting blocked. I don't know who you are, but the fact that she texted me is now a good time to chat. It is never a good time to chat. But definitely thank you for asking. I don't know who you are. You're getting blocked. I'm not going to wait for you to call. What if it's time to embrace the knowledge, the awareness that you, as a candle, a sacred flame, all you needed to do was allow yourself to burn brightly. And that the darkness was the environment that would help you to better shine. I mean, we're all going through dark period. One reason or another, we're all going through a dark period, whether it's our health, whether it's our finances, our professional life, personal life, relationships, family connections, all sorts of different things. We're all going through a dark period. So what does that mean? I've learned that whenever I go through darkness, that is my soul making me aware it's time to shine. It is time to shine. It's time to shine. There's nothing else that you can do that is more important than allowing your passion to light the way for those who are witnessing you. Light the way to follow you? No. They will follow you until they find their courage to go back onto their path, to return back to themselves. That is fine. Let them follow behind you for a little bit so that they can become more comfortable with their process. But it is not your job to lead them in that way. It is your job, your duty, and your obligation to shine brightly with no fear, no shame, no hesitation, to just be a candle in the darkness. Even a little tea light can provide so much light when you are surrounded by complete darkness. Do you guys, well, maybe you guys don't all remember, but for those of you who were part of my journey when I was still on Facebook, like strictly on Facebook, if you remember, I used to have auctions every Saturday. And I used to live stream and auction off selenite swords. And do you guys remember that? You remember my selenite swords? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. That's so weird. Let me see. Okay. Yikes. I don't like to search this kind of stuff up because I took it all down. Gosh. Golly gee willikers. I took it all down. Yeah, I did. I took it all down. So I used to make these selenite swords, right? And they were profound. I still sometimes do make them. It's been a long time since I've made it, but I sometimes still do make them. And it's this thing of like, I would make, I don't know, like 15, 20 swords in one night. I would work super frantically to be able to be ready for Saturday, right? I would start Friday afternoon, evening time, and I would just keep going through the whole night and not sleep. Well, what most people don't realize was I was homeless in a parking lot during that period. No electric, no generator, none of that. And what I would do, if you guys have never seen the garden solar lights, have you guys seen that? Let's see. They're little tiny lights, little tiny, tiny, tiny little lights. Like they're super small. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can get them for like $1 at Walmart. So I would use that solar light to make swords. Once it got dark, that's what I would use. 2 solar lights from Walmart, little tiny ones. It's like working by tea light. I would get so much done with minimal amount of light. So much done with minimal light. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. And people would never know that I was working with minimal light, but here's the thing. Do I need a spotlight to do the work that I need to do? No. I just need to be able to see what it is that I'm doing so I can have clarity for myself, what I'm currently doing and what I need to do next. What if you're that tea light? You're exhausted. You don't think you can shine bright enough. That's okay. You don't need to. You just need to allow yourself to be witnessed. You just need to allow your passion. Oops. You need to allow your passion to be witnessed, right? So things are going to intensify. This thing that intensifies is going to lead to even more security for you. Your passion, whatever it is you're passionate about, let it transform your life. Let it transform your life. The only person that needs to give you a chance is yourself. Did someone give me a chance to completely alter the trajectory of my life? No. As a matter of fact, for those who were present during that period, there were quite a few people, quite a few, who made it their life mission to interfere, interrupt, sabotage. That don't matter. If I'm not going to let them into my head, into my space, I mean, if you don't let them on the ship, they can't drill holes into your ship and sink you. They just can't. They can't. Have you ever seen someone throw a rock from the shoreline, have it hit a ship and successfully sink it? Yeah, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The things that people say and do to try and sabotage you, to prevent you from reaching the levels of accomplishment that you are designed and destined to reach, it's inconsequential. The most powerful thing you can do, the most courageous thing you can do, is see that people are throwing rocks at your ship and to protect the aesthetics of your ship. Because, I mean, who wants a dinged up ship? Um, Simply sail further out. They can only throw so far. They want to go in the water to throw the water. Okay. Well, you're in the ocean at this point, you little rock thrower. You're in the ocean, and the ocean is going to take you out to sea. That's your choice. One of the most powerful, most courageous things I ever did was free the people who disliked me because I exist and I serve as a light for others in darkness, was let them decide for themselves if they wanted to drown in the greatness that is my ocean. That's your choice. You know you can't swim. You know you can't fight the ocean. That is your choice. You are tiptoeing around people who are trying to stomp out your light. I'm not saying get combative. I'm not saying get confrontational. I'm saying, why do tiptoe knowing what they are trying to do to you? It was a very hard lesson for me to learn. It was a very hard lesson for me to learn. But the struggle that I faced as I tried to learn something so profound is what led to me learning to an elevated degree everything I needed to learn to be where I am right now. And where is that? Living my purpose. Do I know what that purpose is? Not fully. No, not fully. I'm starting to get a sense. Barely. I'm starting to get a little bit of a sense of what that could possibly mean. I mean, I've been shown things for years. Um, but I'm really of the mindset when it comes to me and precognitive hits for my life, I'll believe it when I see it in real life. Until then, I'm just going to keep plugging away and doing what it is my soul is asking me to do. Working up the courage to manifest your dreams sometimes has nothing to do with manifesting your dreams. Sometimes it has everything to do with resolving an in real life situation that you are currently facing, not some far off event that you have no guarantee as to when that's supposed to transpire. You don't know when it's supposed to happen. You don't know when it's supposed to happen. So why are you trying to make things happen with not all the information being presented to you? So instead of that, simply allow yourself to find the courage to address what needs to be addressed right now. And as you do that, another event is slated to occur for you. And then you can address that when it's time. And as you're addressing that, another event will be slated for you. And as you address that successfully, the next event is brought to you. And then the next event, and the next event, and the next event. That's how you walk through your life. Did you know the art of walking is nothing but a continuous string of controlled falls? When you walk, you're actually leaning forward to the degree that you're about to fall, but you put your other leg in front of you to stop you from falling. And then you lean forward again and you put your other leg in front and your other leg and your other leg and your other leg. And now you're walking. And if you do it faster and faster and faster, now you are jogging and running and sprinting. It's nothing but a series of almost failures. That's what life is, a series of almost failures. Do you ever actually fail? No, no, you do not. No, I am not wrong. This is one of the things I will never debate over. I am telling you right now, the concept of failure is erroneous. You are redirected, you are recalibrated, you are shown that there is a better way to do things than the way you've chosen right now. And therefore, you have to do it again. You have to try it again. Do you ever really fail? As long as you're learning something from what you're experiencing? No. Well, what if you don't learn? I doubt you didn't learn. You just don't want to address whatever it is you're being taught by life. That's not the same as not learning. That's a whole different thing. There's a whole different thing. So you need to allow yourself to continue with the process that you're on, letting your courage be that almost falling, but putting your leg in front. That's what your courage is. Not allowing yourself to completely fall flat on your face. But hey, guess what? Even when you fall flat on your face, you still get back up when you're done because you literally can't stay there. You can stay there for a little bit or a little bit, however long you want. You want to be real stubborn with it, go ahead. Go ahead. Eventually, you're going to get hungry. Eventually, you're going to need to go potty. Eventually. And then you're going to get up. And then you're going to get up. So you're never going to stay down. Emotionally, mentally, you might think you've stayed down, but have you? Have you? Or have you really just allowed yourself to convince yourself what other people are saying? I had so many people at one point try and convince me that because I never have taken any business classes or anything like that, I don't have any certifications, I don't have a formal education, that I am not enough for whatever. These are the same people whose businesses folded years ago. Yet here I am, still going. The people who tried to make me feel as though I didn't have enough formal education, formal knowledge, I don't have the spiritual certifications. Where are you now? Still trying to follow behind someone else's footsteps. Where am I? Walking freely through the wilderness of my consciousness, being myself, being happy, helping people because that makes me happy. Is it a comparison, competition? No. So what am I trying to say? That I only know what's best for me. It's only me that knows what's best for me. And I can play myself and be like, I don't know what's best for me. Yes, I do. It's just what I know to be what is best for me is not ideal based on my perception of what should be best for me. You need an example? For much of my life, I thought what was best for me, what my destiny is to be a neurosurgeon with a secondary specialty in cardiothoracic surgery. That's what I wanted to be. That's what I was groomed to be. Is that what was best for me? I would be an unhappy person in a sterile room for the rest of my life. I would be unhappy. I would basically have minimal interaction with my children. Everything that means the world to me are things that would not be allowed. Because why? Well, because I'm a surgeon, I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm not allowed to have the personality that I have to joke around. No, because sick people come to me and I need to be serious because this is serious. Yeah, not everything is serious. Not everything is serious. Not everything needs to be serious. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not be serious. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is recognize the path you've chosen to walk upon up until this point was a path that was chosen by someone outside of you. I am a very feeling, deeply feeling type of person. Some of the most powerful work that I've done was to hold a space so sacred that myself and my client can feel together, feel all of the pain of the hardships they've lived through. Sometimes the most powerful healing is simply being acknowledged and validated. Would I be able to do that as a neurosurgeon? No. No, I would not. No, I would not. I would not be able to see people as people. I would have to see them as cases, case studies. I would have to be sterile in my approach because of the professional decorum that is required of a surgeon. I'm not made for surgery. Did I waste my education? Absolutely not. I'm a medical intuitive. I'm a medical intuitive. I was immersed in the medical field just enough to glean the knowledge that I needed, but not enough to be indoctrinated. I'd say life is so perfectly calibrated with a perfect ratio of types of experiences that will encourage your blossoming and your blooming. You just got to know that some plants don't bloom 4 seasons year round. Some will bloom only during specific periods. Do you even know what type of flower you are? For me, I wouldn't categorize myself as a rose, although I do have thorns. I resonate more with a peony. Beautiful, lush, the fragrance intoxicating. It only blooms at a specific time. Try and get a florist to order you peonies outside of May through July. You're going to be hard pressed to find any. You're going to be very hard pressed to find any. And although peonies look so delicate, I have very distinct memories from previous existences where peonies were used as part of exorcisms. They're powerful. They are powerful, 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 powerful. Do you even know what flower you are? Because if you don't know what flower you are, if you don't know what type of plant you are, then you won't know the gravity of what you can handle, what your worth is. It doesn't have to be a beautiful flower. It doesn't need to have the aesthetics. Do you know how nutrient dense dandelions are? How medicinal they are? You know those weeds, bull thistle? They have a lot of freaking spikes on them. And once they start growing in your yard, it's really hard to get rid of them. They're not very pretty. They look like weeds. They look like the type of flora that would be used to weave a crown of thorns. The power in bull thistle. when it comes to metaphysical work, the undoing of black magic. Bull thistle is the shizzles. It is. It is. When you allow yourself to reject, to banish the parts of you that are the most powerful, you are not doing yourself a service by shrinking yourself in order to not step on the toes of someone else's dreams. Your life is pushing you towards what you need to be, what you are, what your destiny requires of you. Years ago, I had made the acquaintance of a woman, and we had entered into a contractual agreement where, because of their history, because of their ethnicity, their cultural background, they are versed in magical practice, flora, herbs, oils, that type of thing. The contractual agreement was to produce for me customized oils, smudge blends that will help in the negation of black magic. In the middle of all that, I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know what the heck happened. They suddenly disappeared. And then it came back to me that they were, I don't know. I don't know. I assume they got breached and now they were afraid of me, despite the fact that I haven't even talked to you. I don't know what's happening. And so, you know what that did? That was my life taking away the very thing that was preventing me from tapping into my actual birthright. My knowledge of flora is extensive. Not just the medicinal use of herbs, but also the magical, how to undo things with it. It's extensive, multiple lifetimes as a shaman through multiple nations across the globe, as a druid, as a bruja, like so many lifetimes. All of that knowledge stayed intact. I can look at you and sense what's wrong, and immediately a flower, a plant will come to mind. Hey, you should look into this plant and see, because I feel like you should take it. I don't know how or why, but I think you should. Rarely am I ever mistaken in the retrieval of information. There have been, but it's rare. Very, very rare. Yep. It took my life taking away a person that I would have become dependent on because I was afraid to tap into those aspects of me. Have I ever done anything dark with my knowledge of flora? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So, what's so evil about that? What's so evil about it? Because someone's afraid? Afraid of what? Because someone told them to be afraid. Okay. Well, why are they afraid? They don't know. They're just afraid. I've had people afraid of me because why? What have I done to you? Well, you do things and say things and talk about things that I don't understand. Okay. So how is that bad? It goes against God. Who do you think made me? My existence does not contradict the existence of divinity. It does not exist. It does not create some type of contradiction with God. Nobody taught me any of the things that I know. So if I don't have a teacher teaching me, and I'm simply using books to confirm the information I already have inside me, where do you think I'm getting this information from? from the lives that God has allowed me to live. I am not in contradiction to divinity. I am proof divinity exists, because it is what made me and designed me to be exactly as I am. And the more I allow myself to embrace that, the more courage I have to manifest the dreams that I've been given. Because my dreams are never selfish. They're never just about me and how I will solely benefit from the things that I do. They're always about how many more people can benefit if I do this. Perfect. Hundreds? Okay. Thousands? Hell yeah. Millions? Sign me up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Billions? All right. That means I'm in full alignment with what my soul brought me into this life to do, which is what? Just be. To find the courage to just be myself, regardless of who stands before me. It's a very powerful thing to just be yourself. It takes no effort. It takes no effort. None. I used to have to try to be a little more this, a little less that, just, I don't want to upset anyone. And now I'm like, okay, so something I said upset you. What's the root of it? Because I know the root isn't me. I haven't even interacted with you. What is the actual root of it? Do I remind you of something that happened to you in the past? Did something I say trigger a remembrance of a wrong that was done to you? Find the courage to address that. It needs to be addressed because you deserve to feel whole. And maybe that's why you're here. So that I can trigger within you the things that you need to address in order for you to return back to a space of wholeness. Focus on the light, but for so many of us, we do nothing but focus on the deficiencies, the depletion, the sadness, the disappointment, all of these things that really, are they things, or do we make them into something? Are they just a detail of our life and we are turning it into something that it doesn't need to be? Like, what is this? What is it? Who are you? Where are you? How are you? Are you turning yourself into something that you're not? Are you volunteering to be a villain in someone else's story, despite the fact that you're incapable of being a villain? Right? Are you trying to force yourself into a villainous role because someone invited you, encouraged you, and begged you to be the villain because they needed a villain since they found a new hero? I'm at a point where really I don't care about that. I don't care. People are in their process. Their process has nothing to do with me. Sometimes our journeys will overlap. Most times, even if you overlap, it's simply an intersection, and I have to keep going. I have to keep pushing. Defend to the end the worthwhile. You will continue to have to defend yourself so long as your environments that have the capacity and act upon the capacity and desire to attack you. Let that sink in. What is the message soul is bringing to you right now with that statement? Are you continuing to force yourself to exist in an environment that is intolerable for you? An environment that doesn't even want to tolerate you? An environment full of people who have the capacity, the willingness, and the desire to punish you for existing? Maybe that's the actual problem. I tend to have minimal issues in life these days. Why? Is it because I'm rich? I am so far not rich. Nope. Nope. Definitely not anywhere near rich. No. It's because I'm powerful. Well, I'm powerful in accordance with whose definition of power? I mean, who set the parameters that leads to the definition of power. In my eyes, I'm not powerful, I'm just me. In someone else's eyes, might see me as powerful if I can do things that they can't do, but understanding human existence a little bit more these days, I can do things you can't do, but you can do things I can't do. So really, that's an equal exchange. That's an equal exchange. So no one is more important than the other, right? For example, you can have someone who knows how to raise livestock for food, right? They can process the meat, but does that make them a chef? No, no. Now, a really skilled chef can turn that raw meat into something so profound, like it's a full-on experience, right? Does that mean they know how to raise livestock and grow the flora? No. So I'd say they're interdependent. In order to create the highest elevation of experience, they need to work together and do their part. Same thing applies to all of us. There's no one that's more important than the other. So stop comparing, stop competing. Instead, use your energy to work up the courage to manifest your dreams. You need to begin manifesting your dreams because your life is pushing you there anyways. Now, if you want to create a visual that might make it easier for you to quantify this for yourself, you're at the edge of a cliff. This cliff is a very high cliff, and at the very bottom is a river. It's the Grand Canyon, it's the Colorado River, right? On the other side of this deep gorge with a raging river through it is the other cliff. That's where your dreams are at. Now, you're a human being. You have neither the wings nor the hooves to be able to fly across or run fast enough that you could launch yourself into the air and land on the other side safely. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You weren't created like other animals who have the capacity to do this. You're not some lemur. You're not some sugar glider that can just launch itself like that, right? Yeah, but here's the thing, you're human. What we lack for in physicality, we more than make up for in intellect and innovation, ingenuity. So, what would you do? You need to get to the other side because the side that you're on is beginning to crumble. You need to get to the other side. What are you going to do? There's so many different options. You could construct a rope, climb down way upstream. And so when you get into the river, it'll carry you downstream. And as it carries you downstream, you can begin this diagonal journey to the other part. I mean, that's basic, a lot of risks. You could take the time to use your melon a little bit better. Architectural design, build a bridge. Build a bridge. I mean, we can't build a bridge alone. Right, but you're not alone. Who said you were alone? You just perceived yourself to be alone. See, when you involve other people that your life brings your way, you can very easily construct that bridge. And guess what? You're over here feeling selfish because now you've affected everyone. You've had everyone helping you. Yeah, can we get out of that space real quick and recognize that maybe they need to get across that bridge too? So it's a community effort to achieve a community-based goal. You're not the only one that needs to get to the other side. You're so busy playing martyr that you didn't realize you're working cohesively, mutually beneficially. I mean, come on now. Come on now. You're not as bad a person as you try and convince yourself to be. You're just not. The truly bad people, they don't like to be in my presence. For some reason, they can sense that I can sense them. They don't like to be in my presence. They don't like to interact with me. They don't like to be in the live stream when it's live because they know I can feel them. So, what does that mean? That means you need to get over that insecurity that you're a bad person because you're not. Bad people don't give a damn if they're bad, they just don't want to be called out on it. I've observed thousands of people. I've observed thousands. I am very well versed in human behavior and neutral observation of it. Yeah. Stop trying to convince yourself you're something that you're not. Card number 15, big bold vision. You need to allow yourself to see clearly all these different options being laid before you by soul. You come from a legacy of light. What does that mean? It means you're about to be given the clarity of the gravity of you. I'm not the only one that has gravity. You do as well. You have a purpose just as profound as my own. There is a need for your existence. If there wasn't, you wouldn't still be existing. It doesn't matter if you can see it or not. It's there. What matters and what you can control is a process by which you will find the courage to manifest the dreams. Right? Whatever it was that made you think that you are not as valuable as this person or that person or me, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not you, Emmy. Yeah, so that means you're probably not a spaz because I'm spastastic. Yes. And then I hyperfixate. Yes. I can become obsessive. I have these characteristics that are either powerful or detrimental to me. None of that matters until I choose how it's going to play out in my life. So, what am I trying to say? I'm the same process you're in, just trying to figure things out. I'm just trying to figure things out. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. All the time, I have to love myself through that process. I have to let myself be. I have to allow myself to go through the things that I need to go through that will further refine my perception and understanding. That means you and I, we're equals. That's what that means. That's what that means. So you have me there on a pedestal, and I'm over there thinking it's a platform from which I can build so that I can pull you up and put you onto the next step. It's all about the way you perceive things. It's all about how you perceive things. What you think is someone else on a pedestal, if they have integrity, it's not a pedestal. It's a platform from which to reach the next level so that I can pull you up and push you up. And when you're up there, please kindly turn back around and lift me up with you. I can't reach very high spaces. I'm a tad bit vertically challenged. It's okay though. That's why we got each other. That's why we have each other. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to be more than fine. It's going to be more than fine. Power of attraction. You are bringing to yourself the things that you need. You are allowing, right? You are allowing yourself to get to the next part. It's uncomfortable. It's a little bit unsure. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's a little bit all of these negative things that you want to affix to it. That's okay. But it's also powerful and transformative. It's also necessary. It's also a part of you. So let it be. Let it be. Going beyond normal, but it's in reverse. If you're just going to continue to do what's normal, you're going to continue to be stuck in the same rut that you have been stuck in and unhappy in. Am I trying to call you out? Well, you might feel like I am, but what I'm actually trying to do, so that you have a clear understanding, is help you to see with clarity the ways in which you are misusing your power over yourself. Wrap your mind around that. You are misusing your power over yourself and your journey. Allow yourself to unfold. Allow yourself to blossom. Believe in reverse. You don't want to believe it. That's what the cards are snitching you out. I'm not snitching you out. The cards are snitching you out. You don't want the cards to snitch you out. You got to stop acting that way toward yourself. That's how that works. Michael says to tell you, I know firsthand that that's how that works because I do that all the time. That's why I can't read for myself. That's why I have to read for all of you pretty much daily because I cannot read for myself and I refuse to listen to my soul. And therefore, I glean for myself the personal aspects of the messages while I do general readings for all of you. And that is Michaela snitching me out. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I'm stubborn. I'm working through it. Not really, but you know. I am. I'm working through it, just not sufficiently. It'll have to do, donkey. Michael goes, who's the donkey? You. You are. Communication in reverse. You're not willing to allow the communication. Michael. He says, not me, he says, you're not willing to allow the communication to take place. What communication? He's like, don't play dumb. What communication? What communication are you talking about? I mean, assuming makes an ass out of you and I. Right? So, what communication are you talking about? It says to pull up the card again. Someone keeps howling at the moon. He says, that's an ugly helmet that I've put on myself. He says, that's an ugly helmet that I've put on myself because I refuse to hear the communication. Communication for what? Being highly cognitive does not mean I'm willing to violate someone else's sovereignty. If anyone wants me to know things, factual things about themselves, it's going to need to come out of their mouth or their fingertips. And that's that. That's that. Communication works both ways. It's a two-way street, meaning it doesn't always have to be one person initiating conversation. When conversations happen, con meaning with, con meaning with, that has to be a mutually beneficial thing. That means at some point we got to switch turns, right? Oh, now I'm being insolent. I'd say I just outsmarted you. Anyways. Anyways. He's saying all this stuff. It's coming out like wah, 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 wah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So card number 26, Sacred Journey. You know, just, yeah, go. Go on your journey. Travel. Travel within yourself, travel outside of yourself. Consider all these different things that need to be considered. Explore who you are. Allow for balance to occur, and as balance is reestablished, your celestial teacher will return. This is someone who will cross paths with you. And as they cross paths with you, the interaction will be mutually beneficial, and there will be um, a synergistic learning that occurs between the two of you, right? Okay. Awaken, meaning you need to become aware. You need to allow yourself to reach higher levels of awareness of the process that you're in. Don't ever compromise your integrity as you go through this. Okay. Don't ever compromise your integrity, because some of the things that will happen if you compromise your integrity is not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Okay. Royal return, you need to return back to a space of making decisions for yourself. Royals don't have others make decisions for them, right? They have to, at the end of the day, make the decisions themselves. But here's the thing, and this is why the royal needs to return. You've been already living like a royal and a pauper all at the same time. Why do I say this? Well, because Michael says that's not an answer. Anyways, because royals have a tendency to live with heavy obligations. They are obligated to everyone. Everyone. Yes, they are afforded certain um entitlements, but at the end of the day, a royal is obligated to their people. I mean, you've already been living a very heavily obligated existence, this obligatory space that you live in. Yeah, you need to just exit out of that, enter into the shadow spaces where you can do the shadow work. And as you do that shadow work, you will see how your soul journey has been upside down. And as you see how that soul journey is upside down, you will then begin to understand how your perception of um, specifics have been this cycle of self-sabotage in order to avoid the return of a previous life. Past life, past life return, right? Right? So that is someone returning from your past, past in this life, past in a different life. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. What is this? What is this? Okay. So that's your grumpy moon self. Okay. You're a grump. I'm a grump. You're a grump. We're all grumps. I want to show you a snack bag that I found for myself. I didn't buy it because I felt like it was just too like obvious. I didn't need it. But look at this. Look at this. Hangry. Yes. Yes. Hangry. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I get it. I get it. Michael brought that bag to my attention. He reminded me that I took that picture last night. Look, wolf and a wolf, right? The wolf is hangry. Why? Well, because where is this going? My thoughts think of that story of the two wolves that live inside you, right? Whichever wolf you feed is the one that will become more powerful, and they're at war with each other. Why? Well, because you're only giving one attention and not the other. So what does that mean? Maybe the other one is acting up just because it's gotten zero attention from you, zero consideration, and it's simply trying to be noticed. I don't know. But there's an aspect of your previous life, earlier in this life or before this life, that is causing you to try and self sabotage. You're afraid of the implications of whoever that person is. You're afraid. You're afraid. You might not want to admit it to yourself, but you are. No, you're not. Okay, so what's your reasoning for avoiding? What's your reason for avoiding? Because those are all excuses that help to kind of obscure the reality that you are avoiding because of the fear. Fear of what? Are you afraid you won't be able to control yourself in their presence? Are you afraid they will dominate you? Are you afraid of this and that and all these other reasons that you have no real basis to have? These are assumptions. Is this someone that you've had such a history with that you know them so well inside and out? And even then, you understand that if enough time goes by, people change. They become different. The person that I was last year is not the same person that I am now. The person that I was 5 years ago is not the person that I am now. The person that I was 10 years ago is not the same person I am now. The person that I was in my 20s is not the same. The person that I was in my teens is not the same. Like, people change. You got to be honest with yourself. You're afraid. Afraid of what? That it's a trap? Trap, trap, Bernie Sanders. I'm saying, do you think it's a trap? You think your soul is trying to trap you, entrap you? I mean, really though, how would your soul benefit from that? What? Because your soul wants to punish you for what? For learning? That's what you're here to do, to learn, to have experiences. So why would your soul punish you for doing the very thing you came here to do? Because someone told you that it is? They're a liar. They're a liar. Or they're misled. Either way, it's not your truth. So let it go. Allow yourself to be rejuvenated. One of the most powerful things you can do to rejuvenate yourself is no longer allow the interference. Don't allow people to interfere with a process that you are in. Okay? Awakened gnosis in reverse. What does this mean? It means you are fighting the process of elevating and expanding your awareness of yourself and your life. If you want to keep blaming everyone else, you sure can. You are definitely free to, right? It's up to you. But the more you blame others, just know, I see you. The more you blame others, the more time you are wasting by projecting out into your environment the circumstance that lives within you and needs to be addressed. You can blame everyone you want. That's okay. You can blame your parents. You can blame your siblings. You can blame life. You could blame luck or your lack thereof. You can blame everything. Doesn't take away from the fact that there's work you need to do. There's things you need to see about yourself, right? Did you know that when you place blame on others, you are inadvertently identifying as a victim? Is that your identity? Someone who exists to simply be victimized by others? Really understand the implications of your behaviors. The implication of your behavior and the implication of your avoidance. The negative coping mechanisms that you still allow yourself to utilize. To the person who's trying to access my throat, because you want what? Live evidence of you being able to access my throat. I'm not drinking water because you're accessing my throat. I'm drinking water so that I don't say things that are outside of my level of integrity. You're about to receive a consequence. Not from me. I don't have the time or the patience to do that with you. You're about to receive a consequence from Michael. Your issues and your aggression are not mine to address. How's it feel to receive confirmation that you suck? That's all you did. It's cowardly behavior. You know what you're illustrating for me and everyone else? That you believe in my power more than I believe in it. Why else would you use me as a benchmark to see how powerful you are? Because you believe so deeply in my power. Thank you for the compliment. How's your ego feel? How's that feel? To be publicly addressed and have your failure be broadcast. If I were you, I would apologize. Michael is not the only thing that protects me. My power does not derive from anything outside of myself. You have no idea what you're attempting. You have no idea the gravity of my soul. Now the whole live stream is focused on that weak ass attempt, that cowardly behavior. You were hoping that I would choke on my own words. And why would you hope that? Because I'm too truthful? You don't like that I value everyone? That I believe in equality through diversity? It irks you that what about me irks you? That I don't hold myself to the proper degree of what? Pompousness? That I joke around too much? What else? What else? Because I'm not wearing the appropriate attire and what? I need a whole bunch of crystals behind me. I need to be new age. I need to what? You see, the truly powerful, their power is not based on aesthetics. Their power doesn't need to be announced. Just like the moment you cross my path, even with me playing small still, even with me hiding 90 something percent of the true capacity I come into this life armed with, you still recognize I outrank you. I'm more powerful than you, more gifted, more skilled. I don't need to announce what I am. You take one look at me and you know. I'm something so far beyond what you will ever be. Did you need to hear that to understand your place? Is that what you needed to hear? Because now you've heard it. Michael, correct that behavior. What's he going to do? Whatever the hell he wants. And you're not going to stop him. You come into this live stream again. You're going to have to fight me for your third eye, your solar plexus, and whatever the fuck else I decide to remove from your field. Don't misunderstand me playing small for me actually being small. I'm going to drink a little bit more water. And then I'm going to call it a day because I have a date with my husband at the park. Michael says to show you. He said I was erroneous in presenting this in a way that was far too small. It was deceptive. That's what he says. Not many people can do this. I can very easily. That's me playing. I'm playing. Imagine the gravity if you piss me the fuck off. You're Reiki? Because you know Reiki. I have an episode of a podcast that I did a few months back. I think it's titled something about chatting with a Reiki master. You should watch that. You should watch that. I get it. You probably spent a ton of money to get the Reiki certification, the attunements. With no effort, I can remove all of that from your field. To say you're outranked, that's still me playing small. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Because I'm telling you, the shift in the energies as of late is making it real hard for me to not be pissed off. That's your only warning. You come back in my live stream again while I'm live. I'm going to be pissed. You know what that means? No? You'll find out. You'll find out. It would behoove you to wait until these energies are done shifting so I can stay in my space of letting people get away with all the BS that they try while I'm live. And your 4 little friends, let them know I was aware of their presence as well. I'm much more sensitive, much more aware than I allow people to know. All of your faces have been marked. All of your faces have been marked. All 5 of you. Wrap your tiny little brains around this. 5 of you are trying, yet nothing is working. Come to terms with it. Guys, I gotta go on a date with my husband. This fine-ass man. We're gonna go ride some bikes through a state park. Hopefully find my missing earring. And use up some of this energy because the gym today was not enough. It's not enough. If you guys are struggling with staying centered in yourself and your truth, the energies have been intense. They've been causing quite a bit of anxiety, fluctuations in mood. Excuse me. You got to find a way to discharge it. You got to find a way to discharge the energy that's causing an uptick in anxiety. Typically, it has to be a physical activity. Okay? A physical activity. So you can burn up that energy and it will decrease the amount of anxiety, depression, and all of that. When you do physical movements, especially when you're able to increase your heart rate, not by a lot, but just enough to increase that heart rate to get your breath really flowing, your muscles will begin to secrete a substance that adds to the production of serotonin. It's feel good. It's the feel good stuff. I want y'all to feel good, to be able to navigate through this period with minimal um minimal struggle. I guess that would be the best word to use. Struggle, because it's presenting in different ways for different people. Work up the courage to really take care of yourself, to prioritize your health, to prioritize the development of your understanding of your life, right? Really just allow. Really just allow. Some people, do you think because you brought one more person in, that now you're going to be successful in trying to access my field? Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. For those of you sensitive to frequency, you're going to start to feel an uptick of frequency. Might make you feel a little bit dizzy. You might feel pulsating. You might feel some static electricity. You might also begin to feel intense movement. Just breathe. Everyone is going to be gifted a shield because I'm about to issue a correction. So, for my peaceful community members, just breathe. Feel yourself wrapped up in love. Feel yourself heavily protected. Get out your popcorn. You're in the front row for the show. To the 6 of you, you know what's going to happen now? I'm going to lick my finger. I'm going to put my salivary secretions on your face. That's going to give the impression that you are me. Do you know what that means? All the things that are tried on me consistently, they're going to be tried on you. Have fun with that. You're not the first to try, the second, the third, the 30th, the 40th, the 50th, the 60th. Every day. Every day. And they're all going to think you're me. I won't check in to see how you're doing. You can purchase a session from me on my website, meevolving.com/shop. I'll decide if I want to honor that or not. You're going to need massive corrections through your field because the first round of principalities are approaching. They usually like to try around 2:15, 2:30 p.m. You got about 15 minutes. They've learned to be very heavy-handed because nothing ever gets in. So oops. Oops. Should have left it alone. Should have left it alone. Something you had to learn. And you're going to learn it oh so well. If you think you're going to be able to book a session with me and I won't know what you did and why you're booking the session, I see your human faces. I see the full spelling of your legal names. To say you miscalculated is an understatement. For good measure, without your consent, because you can't do anything to stop me. Without your consent, I'm harvesting your entire etheric genome. I'm keeping a copy of it. I have a faulty memory. Heaven forbid I forget what you did here today. I'll just go through my Rolodex. And if you ever stand before me, I'll know. Memory or not, I'll know. You can't ever take that out of my Rolodex. Now I understand why Michael said, I had to have this face in this little ass body because they'll never see me coming. Kind of not fair because, people misunderstand and think they can get away with the things they do to other people. They think they can do it to me, and you can't. You can't. At least not without consequence. Don't worry, you're going to learn. You're not very intelligent, but you'll learn. Might take a few. A few what? You'll see. It's not going to come from me. You'll see. I'll be okay. I don't know about you, but you're not my problem or concern. Yeah, no. Carnelian law. You had the opportunity to halt. You chose the consequence. Receive the consequence. Go around telling people Emmy did this, this, and this. I don't give a shit. Because it's time. It's time. Should have tried it back in 2017. You would have got away with it. I wouldn't have even said a word. I wouldn't. I would have even stopped Michael. Wait till Marlene tells our Kai. That. I better go before he shows up. That's how weak you are. You didn't even trigger a twin right response, even with 6 of you. I'd say take my classes, but I'm at a point where I don't like you very much. You're still not strong enough to be considered an enemy, though. You're like a child, poorly behaved, neglected child. I'll just leave it at that. Don't show up on my live streams again. I can tell even if you don't comment. I can tell even if you watch the live stream without entering it on Facebook. I can tell. I can tell. You're scared. You should be. You guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Apologies to everyone that you had to bear witness to the correction of an unloved, neglected child. It's not for us to adopt everyone. I'm not ashamed to be who I am. I'm not. Other influencers? See, I'm not an influencer. Other influencers, they'll be scared to say all of these things because, it's going to make people think this and that. I don't care. Either accept me as I am, or there's plenty of other people who are going to cater to you. It's not going to be me. Not going to be me. I'm off to my date. I love you guys. I will see you again very soon. And hopefully next time There is no next time. Because I tell you, this is me being nice. This is me having mercy. You have no idea. None. Love you guys. Bye, everyone.